everybody. I pray this video finds you blessed. So, you haven't heard from me in a while because my family and I have been made homeless and have been going through some trials and errors for sure. So, things didn't work out at my parents' house and we had to leave. That was a mess in itself and a very expensive transition. My mother-in-law and father-in-law offered to put us at a campsite in their camper. So we were there for a few weeks until we could get electric put here on their property, which cost quite a bit of money, but we had to do what we had to do in order to hook a camper up on their property. The plan was to buy a camper with the money we had saved and stay in our own camper on the property because we couldn't use theirs for a whole year. That would just be not practical for us. And so we purchased a camper. We don't know anything about campers. We're not experienced campers. We just needed something that was going to be within our budget and that we could make last for a year until our house is built. Unfortunately, we purchased one that we were told that had no water damage and had some things here and there that would need to be replaced, but nothing major. I figured a gallon of paint, put some new flooring in, stick down flooring because the carpet was old and nasty. And it's, it kind of smelt in here like an old camper. And we were working in here and it started to rain and the roof started to leak inside. And that led to finding a ton more water damage and mold, rotten floors, rotten walls. And so it's unlivable. The mold in itself has caused me and my husband to cough constantly because we had been in here painting prior to finding the mold, and my kids had been in here painting prior to finding the mold, and I feel horrible because I didn't know that all of this mold was in here and that they were breathing that. So we've been trying to find all the areas that are affected and assess it. And there's so much that would have to be replaced and redone. And fortunately, we spent all of our savings on the camper, and there isn't much money left for repairs, especially the extent of the repairs that this camper is going to need. The camper was not sold to us for the condition that it was in. It was sold to us for the condition that we thought it was in. And it was really impossible to find all these moldy, nasty spots unless we literally tore it apart before we purchased it. So before any of you start commenting about, well, why didn't you know? Well, we just walked in it. We walked around it. We looked at it for probably about 45 minutes to an hour, and we just didn't see much evidence of this much damage and the spots that they're in. The carpet was hiding it. Matter of fact, the carpet was holding the floor together in this one pop out. I can go on and on and on. My family has been through hell for the past month. And I just want a home for my kids. And I feel so defeated. The owner of the camper is just ignoring us and not wanting to work with us, and I'm losing hope in people and that character and good character integrity even exists in anybody anymore. So anyways, I'm sorry that there isn't going to be any wood turning on this channel for at least a year. I'm probably going to have to sell all of my wood turning equipment in order to afford to put this crap box, is what I've been calling it, together so we can live. And that's fine, because clearly having a roof over my children's head, a safe and non-moldy roof preferably over my children's head, is worth, it's priceless. So I'm going to try to film as much as I can as far as the camper remodel, because at least, you know, maybe somebody out there who happens to watch my channel is coming across some of these issues and would like to see what we're going to do about it on a very, very tight budget. There are some things that I just wanted to do that were aesthetic, you know, to make look nice while we lived here, to make it homey, because that's my job. I'm a housewife, and part of me being a housewife is making our home a home and making it something cozy and nice and that fits our family. So that's what I intended to do. Not so much having to rebuild one, but it is what it is. So I do apologize to everybody. Unfortunately, things in my life have, or my family's life has taken a complete turn, an unexpected one that we didn't plan for. So, like I said, I'm going to try to film as much as I can. I don't have any of my camera equipment. Everything that we own other than food and our blankets and our clothes had to be shoved in storage. So anything extra and beyond your basic needs, there's no room for. We have nowhere to put it in other than in storage. So I'm gonna walk you through. We had packed everything back into the rear of the camper, and we had torn a lot of stuff apart because we were finding mold, rot. And when we first found it, we thought, okay, well, we'll just have to replace this. And then we peeled up back another layer, and we're like, oh my gosh, we're gonna have to replace that. And then it just got worse. It just spread like wildfire all throughout the camper, and became a project that was beyond our financial ability. And I mean, we're capable. I'm determined. I have no fear in figuring out how to do things. But when you buy something that you're not expecting to have to do that for, and you didn't budget for it, it really makes things especially difficult. And right now it feels somewhat impossible. Sorry, my stomach's growling. My stomach has been torn up since this whole thing started. And so, anywho, I'm going to show you some things that I started to do, and then obviously the big mess that we have to take care of. I am going to say I contacted Total Boat to let them know that the situation we were in, and they were so kind to offer with sending materials that I might need to fix this thing up. So big shout out to Total Boat for doing that, and I'll be able to show some of their products that we use in wood turning that could also be used in repairing a RV camper. And how amazing is that? I can't thank them enough. And anyways, enough crying, because it's time to work. So this is a 2011 Keystone Laredo. This is the first pop out. This used to be the couch, and there was a breakfast nook, like built-in bench seat. So all of this floor was covered by heavy furniture. It wasn't, you know, just a simple table and chairs. It was all like built-in kind of stuff. And in that couch And here in this corner of the pop out, the floor is completely rotted. I can stick a screwdriver right through that. And I know I shouldn't be in here without a mask with mold, but I can't talk about it with a mask on my face, so I'm going to try to quickly film it. And you can tell the water was coming in from down here because though it's this cardboard that's on the inside of the exterior wall of the camper is wicked all of the moisture up from the bottom. And we found the culprit of the leak in here. It's actually the strip that screws on from the outside to this aluminum frame through into the floor to hold the floor up. The only support that this wood floor has is a steel thing at the very back end of the pop out where this is bolted into, the floor is bolted into, and there really is nothing on the sides that it's actually sitting on. It's screwed in and held this direction, if you guys can understand what I'm saying, and then obviously in the front. So the main supports is front and back of this big long 15, I think it's 50, but I haven't really measured it yet, piece. We were going to have to pull the carpet out anyway because I was going to put sticky tiles down just because we have animals and kids, and it'd be a heck of a lot easier to clean. And obviously you can't steam clean carpet when it's sitting directly on plywood because that would cause water damage. So that was our plan. This necessarily was not our plan. This corner is really bad, and there's ants. Like, it's ants and roaches all throughout this camper. It's disgusting. It's unlivable. This isn't what we thought we were buying. So that is water damage. This is just, like I said, this is just what we found so far. We got this far and just were like, we can't fix this. Like, I mean, we can if we had the money. So back here, it's kind of a mess. Oh, and we knew about this soft spot in the floor. These floorings, if anybody knows about camper flooring, it is a piece of very thin birch board. Here, let me show you, like this. And then like a 2-inch foam and another piece of wood, and then the bottom of the trailer. So, and they're 4-foot spacing between the joists. So we figured it's probably just because that wood has, there's not much floor support. So we knew about the soft floor, and we just figured we'd go underneath and support it. And that wouldn't be a big deal. I don't think that the floor is soft because of water damage, but we haven't peeled back the layer underneath to actually see what's going on under there. And it doesn't appear, especially right here, and it doesn't appear that there's water damage on the top, but the foam could be wet in the bottom, and the foam could have absorbed water and broke down. I don't know. At this point, anything is possible. So back here was to be my kids' bedroom, and that opening there is where the outdoor kitchen was. We knew there was some water damage in the outdoor kitchen. My husband says he remembers the gentleman saying, well, I can't call him gentleman, the guy saying that the refrigerator could have defrosted that was in there, or that they had this open. I don't remember what story was told as far as that goes, but that definitely wasn't it. The outdoor kitchen countertop would had to have been replaced. And that's fine because we have a grill and things like that, so we weren't too concerned about the usability of it. We had, sorry, my weed eater's in here because we have no place to put things, so we kind of just shoved it in here. You can't see it right now. I'll get this all cleaned out and show you. This is brought in because the water is just, every time it rains, water, you can just hear it pouring down into the groove in the floor over there. All up there, that board that goes along on the inside of the wall is moldy and rotten. The floor is rotten in that corner and down in here. So the leak for this back piece, this pop out, has to be from up top. You can see some water damage where some water has been coming in through that light right there, which isn't bad. That's very minimal, and I probably would just spray some bleach or Kills on that water spot because it's more of a water spot than mold. But down in here, it's definitely bad. When I originally walked in and found the water leak, it was right here at this transition in the roof. There was water leaking from in here. Of course, I pulled the strip off because it was sagging full of water and it was dripping down onto the floor. And that's what led me to that back wall, which was completely mush. Now, there was carpet in here, so a lot of the carpet had hid any of these areas. I mean, it was just the carpet hid a lot. Matter of fact, the carpet in here was the only thing holding this floor together. When we pulled this pop out in, the whole floor just completely fell off. So the carpet was really kind of holding everything together, and those things we wouldn't have seen unless, like I said, we ripped these layers back. So that's the water damage that we have that I know of for now. I'm gonna get in here today and just, since this place has got mold, the furniture that we pulled out was moldy and black underneath all of it. Even the breakfast nook area bench, all of the furniture, especially towards the back wall, was full of mold. It's not usable. I mean, I'm not gonna go and try to bleach and restore furniture that's covered in mold. It's best just to toss it, get rid of it, get it out of here. Breathing that stuff is just taking a toll on us just in the couple of days that we've been in here. See, coughing. So I'm going to put a mask on. I'm going to rip out, we haven't even gotten into the master bedroom. I have no idea if there's any mold or anything along this floor. I don't know if any of these walls are affected. So, you know, everywhere where there's roof and everywhere, we're just going to try to fine tooth comb it and see what all needs to be done. There was rat poop. There was rat poop on the stove, rat poop on the vents. So obviously once we get the floor, there's like a material in the floor unscrewed, and we evaluate everything from underneath, hoping we don't find any dead rats or nothing. I'm sure we probably would smell them, but you know, who knows, because we didn't really necessarily smell mold when we first came in the camper. Smell old, but not severe mold. But that's because everything was covered. The wallpaper on these panels are like a waterproof type wallpaper from the outside, not from the inside. So you can't see, I'll show you. You won't be able to see any water damage, but if I pull these panels we pulled off already, they're completely black and solidly nasty on the back sides, but you can't tell that from the outside. That wallpaper is hiding. So just to warn you, if you're looking for a used camper, literally push on every single corner, all the walls. I mean, we didn't know these things, so clearly I guess they've seen us coming, you know, and it is what it is. I have to focus my anger on getting a home for my children and getting this place livable at this point, because I have no choice. There's nothing else we can do. We are broke and we spent all our money on the camper, and so there is no driving it to the landfill or set it on fire and just going for another, because that's all of our money, and I have to do what I have to do. So you guys might be asking, well, where's your husband? Well, he's got to go to work and earn the paycheck so we can pay bills that we still have, and storage payments and all that other good stuff. And building a house is costly. It's not cheap. And everything we allotted for our living outside of building the home is this camper. Everything, this is up to this camper and me getting it done. So he's working his butt off. He's at work. He can't be here and do this at the same time. I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I already had done to kind of give you an idea of what style and look I was going for to update the look of the camper. You can tell already that this is the kitchen, and I painted the cabinets. Now, yes, I did overpaint because I was gonna paint the walls, and the cabinets are easier to paint first and then paint the walls. So let me show you what I kind of already started to get done before we discovered all of the major issues. So this is entertainment center. That is a mirror that spins, so a TV will be in there. I just didn't finish painting the frame of the mirror, so I left it I left it turned around. So this was these, whoops, about dropped my camera. So this is a mirror, and it flips, it like turns around, so there's a TV on the other side. This was all of what color wood, like that color wood in there. So I painted it with cabinet paint, and then I used the wood flooring sticky tiles to put into all these coves, because this was all just very plain, and it looked just blah. So that will have cabinet doors on there, and I put the floor panels up here and in all these little pockets just to kind of make it, you know, blend and get together. The side of the walls, I'm going to put the wall panels or the floor panels on too. I just don't like how this looks, and I feel that by putting that on there, there's a lot of white, and yes, paw prints are going to show for my kids and animals and everything, but the more I can cover with these flooring pieces, the easier it will be to clean. This is cabinet paint. It did say I didn't have to prime it, and they were liars. I had to prime it twice and still put 2 coats of cabinet paint on there. Anyways, that's a whole nother. So I have the doors. They're leaning up here randomly. I still have to paint some. We just stopped because of the mess. And so this is the sink. Sorry, that is the frame that was in the bed. We're trying to get rid of all the wood that has any kind of mold or anything on it. So it's not in here and my kids aren't breathing it and getting ill. So this is the kitchen that has cabinets. I still got to put some wood up there in that little cove, and that's what they are. They're just like plain little coves. I thought about turning that into storage, because obviously that's not the microwave that the camper came with, so it doesn't really fit the hole. I was going to buy a microwave that would fit the hole, but at this point I can give less. I just need to get a roof over my kid's head. And I thought about turning that into storage, because, you know, when you have kids and you're living in a camper for a year, you need all the storage you can get, and any kind of space that I can use for storage would be great. But right now, because of the rest of this mess, I have to focus my energy, time, and money on just getting it livable. Again, I'm sorry that this is such a bleh video. I'm not wanting anybody to, oh, feel sorry for me. Just send me prayers. Prayers for strength, and prayers that the Lord will align people in our lives that can help provide us, get this situation taken care of, and financially He'll provide, and I trust in Him for it all. It's just very, this is the true meaning of faith, where you're literally walking by faith and not by sight. And I mean, we're in it. We're in the thick of it. It doesn't make it easy. That's for sure. It does make it easier knowing that we have a God that will never fail us, and He loves us. So it's going to take work and some miracles, some miracles to get this done. But I love y'all, and I'm sorry I haven't been responding to messages and things like that, because I just have had no time or mental ability to process much. Sorry. This is what it is, you know. Yeah. So I appreciate all y'all's prayers, and thank you so much for sticking with me all this time. And I understand if you don't want to watch me try to rebuild a camper, and I get it. I love you anyway. So I pray that you guys have a wonderful weekend. And I'm going to, I don't know how much I'm going to put as far as me tearing up today. I'll probably film it and then post another video as soon as I can. Kind of limited on time and editing time, so we'll see how it works out. But anyways, thank you so much for your prayers. I pray y'all have a wonderful week. Take care and God bless.